name's Mike Blech. I really like having a last name that's basically what people say when they're disgusted by something. People mess up my last name all the time. I've heard belch, blech, bleach. The other day this woman said, bleach, what's the family history of that name? So I told her I come from a long line of detergents. I did go to a new laundromat the other day. There were two warnings on the washing machine. The first one said, do not put any person in the washing machine. The second one said, do not open the door while the washing machine is in use. But it didn't say if there's already someone in the washing machine. Which of the two warnings takes precedence? Do you let him out, or do you wait until the rinse cycle is over? I was born and raised in New York. Since I was young, every time I turn on my TV, I see New York 1. And I started wondering, who watches this channel? It's always showing these boring local news stories. And I saw a survey about who the main viewers are of different networks. So ESPN was single guys ages 20 to 30. Fox News was married men above the age of 50. For New York 1, it was people of all ages whose remote controls were broken. In New York, people on the street ask me for money a lot. To be honest with you guys, I'm always skeptical. Like, no matter what they say they need the money for, I always think they're going to use it for drugs and alcohol. And I will never get tricked. Like, the other day, this guy said he needed $35 for a train ride home. So just to verify, I took the Amtrak with him to North Carolina. But I didn't stop there. But when we got there, I went with him to his home. I met his wife and kids. They actually invited me to have dinner with them and spend the night. And then just before bed, the guy went into the kitchen and came out with half a Xanax and a glass of wine. I was like, you fucker. I knew you just wanted drugs and alcohol. I still use a flip phone. Recently, the number 2 key on my phone was broken, so I had to send all my text messages without using the letters A, B, or C. So instead of saying, do you want to eat lunch with me tomorrow, I would say, would you like to put food in your mouth? I have a Facebook, but I think I'm not qualified to be on Facebook anymore. You know, people are posting really thoughtful stuff now. The other day, my friend's status said, I'm really worried about the parallels between America today and Nazi Germany before World War II. If we don't learn from the mistakes of history, we are doomed to repeat them. And then I looked at my status, and it said, Mike Blech is eating cereal. No, there's no privacy on the internet. You know, revenge porn is a big problem now. A girl breaks up with a guy, and he gets back at her by posting her naked pictures online. That's the downside of the internet. But I was thinking, this probably happened back in the day, too. You know, it's just that back then, when you had a naked picture of your ex-girlfriend and wanted to ruin her life, you had to go door to door. You'd go to your neighbor, like, John, look at this picture of Sally touching herself. Can you just tell 3 people she's a slut? And ask them to all tell 3 people? I'm about to take a 15-day bus ride to LA to show this picture to some folks over there. Well, speaking of revenge porn, my grandparents are in their 90s now. You're not going to believe this, but last week, my grandfather broke up with my grandmother. He was like, Gertrude, I love you, but I don't know if I can be with just one woman for the next 3 weeks. She was like, you're my husband? I thought you were the plumber. Now, speaking of my family, my parents used to tell me, Mike, when you get married, you have to marry a Jewish girl. But as times have changed, my parents have become much more open-minded about who I date. Now they tell me, Mike, just take what you can get. No, I'm afraid of dying alone, but I'm even more afraid of dying with the wrong person. I'd much rather die alone than die with a guy who's murdering me. Guys, I don't really follow politics, but I was actually inspired by Trump's election. And just hear me out on this. I feel like if Trump can get elected president, then I can convince a girl that I'm right for her sexually. Just find a girl who's angry and out of options. Be like, look, you've been with a lot of experienced guys, and now you're single. What you really need is a guy who has no idea what the hell he's doing. The other day, this guy said to me, if I showed you pictures of all the girls I've had sex with in the last 6 months, you'd be like, dude, these girls are really attractive. I was like, if I showed you pictures of all the girls I've had sex with in the last 6 months, you'd be like, dude, show me the pictures. I was actually a virgin until I was 23. And as I got older, it became harder and harder to explain to women. So to make it easier, I decided to become an evangelical Christian. And then this girl asked me why I was still a virgin. So I said, the first 23 years are because I'm a loser who can't talk to women. But the last 4 days are for religious reasons. Lately, though, I've really been upping my game with the ladies. The other day, I was waiting for the bathroom in the 125th Street subway station. And this really cute girl came out. I was like, hey, come here often? I'm doing some online dating too, but the problem is I never know if the girl's telling the truth about herself. Like recently I met a girl online, and for our first date we went out dancing. We were really hitting it off, and then she said, Mike, I have to tell you something. I'm not 22 like I said in my profile. I'm actually only 14. I should have suspected something. I mean, we were at her 8th grade prom. But what pissed me off the most about dating is when a girl likes you but plays games so she seems hard to get. Like I went on a date with this girl. I texted her after to say I had a good time. And just to mess with my head, she didn't text me back for 3 years. So I texted her again, hey, what's up? And then she responds, who are you? You know, what a fucking tease. And then just to keep the charade going, she got married and had 3 kids. I'm still optimistic that I'll meet the one. My dream girl's really friendly, listens to me patiently, and helps me with my problems in life. I guess what I'm really looking for is a customer service representative. When I call her, she'll be like, Mike, I just want you to know I'm recording this call for quality control purposes. Before every date, she'll say, Mike, after this date, would you be willing to complete a brief survey about your experience? And if we're having sex and I ask her to lick me in an unusual place, she'll be like, that's not my department. But I'll transfer you to someone who can help. Thanks, everybody.